The new NPA in Esports from the SQA has 3 units. The first unit is looking at the esports industry as a whole, the second looking at game performance, and the third event organisation. It's a convergence of theory and practical, roughly probably around a 50-50 split. It's skills for the 21st century, it's skills for future learning, life and work, and it's transferable skills no matter what industry the young people will end up within. So it could be specific to esports, such as the gaming. However, there's also team working, there's creativity, there's working under pressure, there is video editing skills, there's social media marketing, shoutcasting, commentating. So the young people realise that it's an industry that's not just for the gamers. It's already a $1 billion industry, it's soon to be a multi-billion dollar industry, and it's a course that instills in the young people skills that they can then take forward for future study or a career within the industry.
The esports qualification is great because it's now opened up esports to be something that you can now do in school. You can pursue that career through school, something that just wasn't possible up until now.
The practical stuff is really interesting. It's like stuff you wouldn't even think was there, like the event organising, the group management. It's all quite interesting.
I think it kind of helps me work together with people outside of playing games, but I get better talking to people, thinking outside the box, you know, thinking quicker on my feet as well.
I think doing esports has helped develop my teamwork skills and working with groups of people.
Playing the game, it helps you think while you're doing, so it lets you multitask a bit better. You have to think about, okay, I'm going to move this, I'm going to walk this way, do whatever.
I'm really enjoying the gaming side, and I actually enjoy the practical side, actually learning where esports came from and how much goes on behind the scenes.
I think I'd more so take the skills that I learned from esports into an IT-based job.
Vocational courses are very important to the school curriculum. It's imperative that we as educators make sure that we have appropriate pathways for all our young people. You know, yes, it's important to have all our traditional subjects, such as your maths, your English, your humanities and sciences, but esports is something that we've introduced that's absolutely new to our curriculum this year, and so far we've had young people really engaged in their learning. They're learning important transferable skills that they can use from one subject to another. So esports for me is going to be a huge benefit to the curriculum here at Dunoon Grammar School.
In terms of progression beyond the NPA Esports qualifications, we're seeing more and more tertiary education establishments offering courses, degree courses in esports, but also there's opportunities for the young people to actually gain employment within these areas. And the beauty for a rural school such as ourselves, many of them can actually be still living and working in our town while forging and nurturing their career in this ever-expanding industry.
Playing video games is something children really enjoy in their own personal time. And bringing that into school historically and traditionally is frowned upon. And actually what we're doing is we're flipping the switch on that. We're actually harnessing the power of that. So what comes with that is this enthusiasm, motivation and drive back into their education. And it means that their academic attainment and achievement is much higher. So we've seen across the board that it is absolutely brilliant for engaging disengaged learners.
I took esports because it was always around me when I was a kid, and I learned a lot of life skills from gaming, like how to be confident in talking to people and how to do teamwork.
It's quite interesting to see schools adapting to modern world and bringing esports in as they've seen it growing a lot of traction.
It's good fun, it's a great new course, obviously it's developing all the time, the industry's brand new.
It's a new qualification, it's pretty interesting, even if you're not in gaming your whole life, it's an easy way to start.
I want to say it's not for everyone, but it probably is because it's very fun, it's quite easy to pick up, and it's a good qualification to have, and it's unique and it's new, so I would say go for it.
I think it would definitely be a cool experience, something to try and introduce more women into the industry.
The traditional demographic for esports, both in terms of participants and spectators, is still male dominated, so it's something we're looking to address, and we start right the way back in primary school. We work with the fantastic digital schoolhouse from the UKIE, which is a fantastic programme where secondary schools can deliver computing science and esports experiences to partner primary schools as part of transitions arrangements, and that is our starting point. Then within the BGE and S1 we have a 24 lesson introduction to esports in various aspects of that, both theory and practical, and the young people can then choose to select esports as an option in S3, which then feeds feeds into the NPAs. We also have a number of extracurricular clubs, including lunchtime clubs, and one of which is a girls-only club. We researched this as to why some of the girls weren't coming up to join their existing clubs, and they felt overawed with the environment that they were finding themselves. So we're catering for that need, and we are very much aware that the young people participating in that club are very keen to continue with their studies in esports.
Video games do have a place in education, a very strong place, and by having qualifications that really harness and tap into the power of video games, we're helping to shift perceptions that educators may hold about what that means. And if I look at this from the angle of helping business development, well, it's just raising the bar on entry-level roles, and it just means that we are getting a much stronger and a far more diverse talent pipeline coming through, which is only going to help the industry flourish.